Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another reaction. Today we're going to be listening to Under Tides, which is apparently the prequel to the Golden Age Will Return Again that I just reacted to, and I didn't know that that was like a prequel-sequel situation. I don't really think it matters in the grand scheme of like just listening to them as isolated music, but in the context of the story, they're apparently like one after the other. So this is technically the first one. I'm still trying to figure out the whole thing. There's a lot of people with various comments of different information. I was trying to read like lore breakdowns people were doing, and I'm like, all of this kind of makes sense, but since I don't play the game, there's no real like tangible thing to lock into. So I'm doing my best here, but I'm going to give this one a shot because a lot of people had mentioned it. So here we are. Let's go. Ooh. Love that atmosphere right off the bat. Oh. Oh, okay. Definitely some offbeat rhythms going on here. A lot of clashing, but like in a good way. Ooh. Ooh. Straight from string slides to this like this tribal drum. I've talked about it a lot in the past. I love tribal drums. They sound so cool. Okay, yeah, odd time signature. I was making sure I wasn't going crazy there. I was like, this isn't a 4/4 anymore. I don't know if it ever was at this point. Is that tribal influence again? What's up with these vocals? They feel like sirens under the water calling to me. That's really cool. That's got to be intentional to have that kind of effect. Sounds very ethereal. Quiet down a little bit. Got to build back into it. Unrelated, I really like this logo too. Oh, that was really cool. A little bit of triumphancy on those horns there. This has so much going on. Ooh. Oh. Oh, that was a cool little shift in emotion there. See, now we're on 4, so they must... This feels very, like, solidified. Less confusion in the rhythm. Yeah, this feels a lot more like they're sure at the end of that. Where, like, they hit back on the 4 and they sounded so much more confident than the beginning that felt a little bit more chaotic. Wow, all right. So I know I spoke a lot during that one, and it's because I wanted to say things, and I'm sorry if that got a little bit muddy for some people who are trying to listen to my reaction and the music. but there was just so much to say on that one. There were some really cool things being done there. Like I said, they had messed around with the meter a lot. There were some odd time signatures in there. And then by the end, they seem to have kind of hit back on the 4/4, which is a very standard structure of music, and it feels very assured. It feels very confident. So it feels like in the beginning of the song, when things were a little bit more turbulent, so to speak, they kind of shifted from this more chaotic music to a more like understood static meter, which feels like they had throughout the course of the song almost come to an understanding of their resolve in a way. I'm guessing here with the story, by the way, of course, but that's kind of what that gave me in energy. That part in there where they had that really cool vocal run, not all the time, but sometimes when I'm looking at these videos, I see little sections that are highlighted because people keep revisiting them and people will mark them as highlighted. This is that moment in here, and now I see why. That is so cool. I always get hyped when I see those on my screen because I'm like, ooh, what is happening at this point in the song that makes people go back to it so often? And that was a really, really cool vocal run. They really, like, that gave me a chill down my spine. Like, legitimately, almost ASMR, which I am not a person who responds well to ASMR stuff, but that gave me the spine tinglies. That gave me the fingertip touchies. I loved that. That made the entirety of my brain 100% activate like Limitless. I loved that. That was super cool. It was just a measure change, right? Like, it was just a transition into the kind of final section of the song, the latter third, and it's like, all of this happening after that break was so immensely important to the song, and you could really feel the impact just from hearing that one little bit. Wow. Like, I'm still geeking out about it like Syndrome. I just love that. It's so cool. This song has a lot of neat elements to it. Like I mentioned, the tribal drums in there, that's in a lot of the bigger music like this, the more orchestral stuff from Arknights. They have a lot of those, and I always love hearing it because it's just one of my favorite things. You can call it a trope if you want. I love hearing that sort of thing. I always love hearing tribal stuff because they have such a storied history. Tribal drums are a world language in music, and it is so cool to hear it used all the time for me. It's one of my guilty pleasures. So all in all, beautiful song. I don't think there's too much I can keep talking about here. I think I mentioned the highlights that I wanted to, so thank you all so very much for watching. I'm going to be listening to that, at least that one section in there with that vocal run, for like a month. I'm not going to be able to help it. I'm going to keep coming back to that. That was so phenomenally mixed in, and it felt so ethereal. It's just delicious. So good. It's just delicious. I love it so much. Anyway, I will see you all in the next video. Thank you for recommending this one to me. It's going to quickly become one of my favorite OST songs in this game, no doubt. Goodbye!